Hi.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good, I'm good. I'm Kelly with ADP. It's nice to officially meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kelly.
Do you mind if I set my phone? Perfect. Oh, excuse me, sounds good. All right. Well, you have a beautiful shop here. It looks amazing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I really pride ourselves in that.
Yeah.
Try to make everything absolutely as authentic as possible.
Right. I've never been to Italy, but I'm sure it's just as amazing as your shop is.
Yes. There's gelato shops in every corner, it seems.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like a good business idea, and so far it's really worked out very well.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you decide to come up with the idea? Were you just visiting Italy?
We were. My family and I go a couple different times a year, and one of the things we really relish is having gelato because you just don't get that flavor here.
Right. Yeah.
And then I really thought, well, let's bring it back and see how it works, and so far so good.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea, and it looks like you're extremely busy, so it seems like business is going well for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, that's one of our biggest challenges, how busy we are. It's just so many balls in the air simultaneously.
Absolutely. Well, we had a brief conversation on the phone, and I know I wasn't able, there wasn't enough time to be able to tell you a little bit about ADP and why I think we might benefit your business.
Okay.
But before we get into any of that, do you think there's anyone that should be in the meeting with us today?
Well, probably my sister Dorothy. She's actually involved quite a bit in, HR, but she's not available today, so I'd like to hear what you've got to say.
Okay, absolutely. Sounds good. So Dorothy plays a
she does HR. Yeah, she does HR and marketing. Absolutely.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm just gonna go ahead and write some notes down just so I can.
Sure.
Perfect. And so I just want to tell you what ADP is basically. So ADP is we've been around for about 60 years, and we're one of the world's largest business outsourcing solutions. We go from HR to payroll to tax filing and to time tracking.
Oh.
And so I just kind of thought that maybe coming in here today might benefit some of your business decisions because I heard that you are franchising and you're starting to grow.
We are. We just hired somebody. We just hired Frank. It's actually our first non-family as senior executive.
Okay.
Because my sister, as I mentioned, takes care of HR and marketing.
Right.
My brother Steve is really in the production end because we actually make the gelato. So Frank is going to hopefully take us to that next level. We've currently got 3 stores, and that's just really about as much as we can manage independently. So we're going to pursue this franchise model and see how it works out.
Awesome. Yeah. So how's that going with Frank so far?
Great. But then again, we haven't really got started, so he's just a new hire. But he came from Cold Stone Creamery, so he's got some background.
Oh, sure.
And he also had some fast food franchising background. So we'll see. I think it's going pretty well.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I mean, it sounds like you did good on your first hire outside of your family.
It did take a lot of time, I have to tell you the truth, because, I really hold our stores and even the facilities, everything is, as I said, very authentic. I really want to make sure that the standards and the quality is very high. So I feel the same way about the senior staff. So.
Yes.
It took a long time between recruiting and looking through resumes and getting the right person.
Right.
And we just don't have any extra time, so it sucked up an awful lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you had any troubles with trying to find the right questions to ask who you're hiring?
It was a new experience for us because, as I said, since it was family, a lot of our other employees are part-time employees at the stores. So it was a learning experience.
It's difficult, because I can assume that with a family business, it's hard to trust people outside of your family, and that's totally understandable.
Right.
ADP is kind of we're basically a small. Well, we're not a small business, but we act like one. We're very, very secure, and we follow up with each one of our businesses that we have, and we treat you guys like you're part of our family as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. So you are currently franchising. You have 3 locations, and how many employees do you currently have?
We have 60 part-time employees at those 3 different locations. I've got 4 store managers. 3 are one for each store, and then I have a floater. We've got 3 people in production, and then of course there's the 4 seniors, my siblings, and then of course Frank that we just hired.
Yeah, so you're
I guess
very
that's
busy.
A total of 71. Yeah.
71. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And who are you currently using for your payroll service?
When you have a QuickTime, it's a time and attendance software where the employees can just actually just sort of access it from anywhere, like log in from anywhere. And that integrates with our QuickBooks, which Dorothy mostly takes care of, so that it generates the direct deposits.
Right.
She does have to do quite a bit of, manually making sure it all works.
Right. Do you have any idea how many hours a week Dorothy might spend on payroll?
I don't. I just know that she complains about it a lot.
She
so
complains about
whatever
it
is,
a
it's too
significant
much.
amount of time.
Exactly.
Sounds good. Have you had any troubles with your employees maybe logging in?
You know,
anywhere
interesting
else?
that you ask. It just came up last week
Okay.
that somebody was running late, and we found out that they called in and asked their friends to
Oh, wow.
to access it. One of the things we liked about it is that it's you can be access it from anywhere.
Right.
And now one of the things I don't like about it is that you can access it from anywhere.
Yep, it's not secure
so
enough.
that just came up, and now I'm concerned. I don't know how pervasive that
Yeah, well,
that
I'm glad
practice
that
is.
you did bring that up. Thanks for sharing that information with me, because ADP is very secure with their how you're going to log in. I actually wanted to show you a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard about our ADP Run mobile app. It's basically an app that can be applied to any smart device, whether you have a BlackBerry or an Android, iPad, tablet, iPhone, and then you can also access it on the internet as well if you don't have any of those.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you here. So I know that you might have, you might have some issues with hiring outside of the business and
Right.
trusting people. So we do have available HR checkup.
Oh yes, I see. Yep.
Yep. So if you go ahead and click on there, it's just gonna.
Look at all the information.
Yep, it's gonna give you kind of some questions that you can go into for
Right.
hiring.
Right. Yeah, this would have been really useful
Right.
to have.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's also, if you go back just to the main screen here, there's also HR Dictionary, which has over 600 terms and definitions for you.
Oh,
so it's just
that really
at your
is
hand.
useful. Right here in your iPhone. That's amazing.
Yep, just click of the finger,
Right.
it's right there for you. And then our biggest asset is if you just go ahead and click on payroll here, and then if you want to just do a start new there, and you can do your check time and see how many, your week by week,
Right.
or whatever your payroll period is.
Right.
Then if you hit next there,
Oops and down.
see.
Okay. Yep. Next. Yep.
and then these are just some deductions that you
Oh,
can
that's
do from
interesting.
paychecks.
Wow, that's great.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to ask you though. I mean, I can't believe it's here in my phone.
I
So how
know.
secure is it?
It is cloud based, so you can have you can access it. It's going to be really secure with your username and then a password. And because you are the major decision maker, you can either have it just to yourself. Otherwise, you can also pass along the information to Dorothy so she can have access to it as well.
Oh, how interesting!
Mhm.
Wow, that really is interesting. I hadn't thought about that. It's. I'm sure she would be interested in something like that, but I have to
Right.
tell you, it sounds really expensive.
Yeah, I completely understand. There's a lot of people that we currently have as customers who thought the same thing at first.
Right.
But eventually, I mean, with all of the things that come in, growing your business,
Right.
it's going to actually save you, quite a bit of fees that are going to come up with everything. There's a lot of stuff that you currently aren't getting. And so it's definitely going to benefit you to have some of these things just, on hand, click your finger. Dorothy will also free up a lot of her time, so I think that a lot of that will, count back on how many
Oh, that's a
hours
good point.
you're
I
paying.
hadn't thought
Yeah.
about that because
How many hours
I
you're
know
paying
she'd be
her.
rather doing marketing
Right.
than payroll. Frankly,
Right.
payroll's not a real exciting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so-
I'm sure there's a lot of things that Dorothy could probably be helping you with the day-to-day operations as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I said we have so many balls in the air. So,
Mhm.
it sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
I really would like to talk to Dorothy about it and see what we think about it.
Yeah, awesome. Do you have any questions for me today? Does everything that I showed
No,
you
I
today
was,
sound good?
it does. I was concerned about the security, but no, I think you've addressed that.
Awesome,
yeah.
sounds good. Well, I look forward to meeting with you again. Is there a way that we could set up maybe next week?
Yeah, let me check with Dorothy. I think that would work fine.
Okay, sure. I'm available Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Before your store opens. If you
Yeah,
are.
that's actually very convenient. That would
Okay,
work out for us
awesome.
really well. Great.
Sounds good. Well,
All
thank
right,
you so much for your time.
Thank
It's
you
nice
very
to
much.
meet you.
All right, take care.